If you don't want to miss my next video, hit that subscribe button, because YouTube ain't going to tell you. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a roundup video. So basically what we've got is DJZ workflows, which contains all my comfy workflows, DJZ nodes, which contains all of my custom nodes for comfyui, and also all my prompt lists for every model that I've trained recently, and definitely all the ones that work with Flux. Also, we've got the LLM base prompts project, and that one pretty much has got all of my sort of message prompts or agent code. Okay, so you can, and there's a bunch of other things in there as well, like the LTXV prompt generator. There's going to be a new one. I'm happy to announce it before it's released, but it's going to be in here as well. That would be for Kling 1.5. It's going really well and it's performing excellently. Just to give you a rough idea of how these work, I made one for LTXV, and I'll quickly give you a sneak peek of how I use that in just a second. But also, I've got a bunch of software which I developed. There are tutorial videos on how to do software and put it into a web UI with Gradio. And there's a bunch of other stuff as well in there, okay? Some stuff hasn't even been talked about, like Image Spider hasn't been talked about, mostly because I haven't had enough time to actually push that project on. But we've been doing all kinds of stuff lately. And so I may as well just start with the workflows, because there was a new video model, which was my last video. That would be the LTXV video generation model. I put it under the name Xoda for Xoda Pack. And basically, the Xoda Pack is it's going to be the fastest video generation you can run on a local GPU. But before we do that, I want to show you the next pack, which is about to drop. I was hoping to upload it today, and it may be up by the time this video comes out. But essentially, there's only one workflow in it right now, because I like to make sure these things actually work and have good utility before you get your hands on them. I'm not just going to throw stuff up because it's like the hype. Okay, so here it is. It's called Roda Audio Reactive Pack, and it's from a guy called Ryan on the inside. He's made some amazing audio reactive nodes, and what I've done is I've basically done my thing, and I've turned it into something super useful. So just to give you the rundown on how this works, you put your project name in, you put your audio in, and you put your video in. And then what you do is you pick your audio and video segment. I don't know why it says audio here and here. This one should say video, so I'll just change that right now. So essentially what you've got is you've got the video at the bottom and you've got the audio at the top, right? And if you take a look here, this is the video, right? And what it's doing is it's doing a multiplier. So each segment, so increment by frames is the number of frames it's going to increment by seconds is the number of seconds it's going to increment by. And then you've got an audio segment index and a video segment index. And that's important, because if I was to set both to 0, that means the music starts there and the video starts there. Obviously 30 frames per second, that means it's going to be doing 1 second of video and 3 seconds of music. And this is a scrubber. So what it's going to do is it's going to automatically take the FPS from the video. Now you can force it here, so I could put 30 there if I wanted to, and it may be that that's what ends up getting released, okay? It's also going to do source width and height, and it's going to automatically do that. Now, I know I've got 768 by 512 here, but actually, if the video is 1920 by 720, it's going to do it in full HD. So this isn't like a diffusion thing. This is going to use AI to scrub the video to the beat. It's actually really cool. Like I said, this guy Ryan on the inside has made some amazing nodes, which allow you to make some interesting looking visuals for your videos. Now, of course, if you put in something which was AI Gen, say 768 by 512, it will automatically be that, okay? And like I said, there may be some other changes made here before it comes out. But essentially, it's going to mask and audio separate, and then it's going to collect the sort of audio reactive content here. I can't play that for too long. I'll get copyright flagged. But the point is, like, it makes crazy stuff, which you can then turn into a little music video. And there's a whole bunch of stuff he's done like this, audio reactive live portrait and stuff like that. So let's just move on to the next one real quick, because I'm trying to blaze through these for you. So on the next one, this is going to be the meat of the video, I believe. Xoda LTXV Video Pack V3 came out last night. So you may be aware of the fact that in the example workflows, that's the comfyui and the Lightrix default workflows. So I didn't make those. They're included so you can see what the defaults were. I haven't really changed much. All I've done is added a whole bunch of creature comforts for the basic ones, that is, for the basic text to video and basic image to video. I've basically added like a bunch of the nodes that I use and that kind of thing. But the main one is the Extendo Triple, which used Dr. Diffusion's last frame to generate the first frame of an image to video. And then we've chained that together. And then the loop motion is basically the same as this, but with 5 of them, not 3. And it's using staggered interpolation and a bunch of other tricks like ping pong. So you can get 45 seconds of video in, I think, less than a minute. So this represents probably the most amount of video that you're going to get in the shortest amount of time currently out there. And if you're doing stuff like nature photography, the way it's set up is that the first is going to take 1 second, and then the last is going to take 1 second, and then in the middle it's more. And so what you end up with is a kind of like a natural camera movement if you're lucky. It depends what you're trying to generate. I mean, I had some good success, and if you go on to Civit, then look on the V2, you'll notice that there's a bunch of examples there, and some of them look pretty good. So, I'm not gonna lie. So then what we decided to do was take a little look at the, there's also the Extendo Simple, which just has just extended. Okay, it's not as long as triple, but it gives the example of how to do it. I did a couple of live streams as well, so thank you to everybody that joined on those. I think we did a 3-hour live stream and a 5-hour live stream. The Sunday live stream is always a lot of fun, and it's the first time we've come back to doing the lives. So you can expect more lives throughout the week. There's always going to be on Sunday. There may be other days of the week. It really depends if I've got something to actually show you guys. So anyway, the main advancement in V3 was the addition of logTD's LTX tricks nodes, and they come in LTXV inversion, LTXV-Edit, and LTXV interpolation. And like I said, I think I might have, I've got the edit version here. So here's my test video again, and without going through the entire workflow, okay, you can see it looks a little bit like 1.5 used to, but fast video now. So it's been 2 years, and what we're getting now is we're actually getting the video models that were promised. Obviously, you can get much better video quality with models like Mochi on local, or with web services like Holo or Kling 1.5. These seems to be the best for quality, but obviously you've got to have supercompute in the cloud, and you've got to pay credits, and that's not necessarily ideal. So what I've done here is I've taken a couple of guys dancing in a car park, and then I've just said used one of my police prompts from the Law and Order prompt list, which is in the DJZ nodes /prompts. You'll find that there, and I'll tell you exactly how I did that in just a minute. We've also got some dancing Vikings and some dancing polar bears, or normal panda bears, that's it. So just to give you a rough idea, obviously what this is doing is it's using my video segment batch control again. So that means you can process a really long video. All you have to do is take the segment to 0, just like the audio reactive. And then obviously you're matching the increment by frames to the frame load cap. Yeah. And what it's going to do is every time you hit Q, it's going to skip. All right, it's very simple, and it's all controlled by the prompt. If you pause the screen now, you can take a little look at what that prompt actually is. But I didn't write this prompt. I used my HoloFS system to give me the prompt, because what I did was I made an agent which will give me exactly what I need just from verbal descriptions, because I've trained, it's like a fine-tuned universe engine which only understands LTXV's video prompts. Okay, it's specifically built for the task of helping you. So you can, once you've got this set up, as I've explained, I think I explained how to set it up in video 1 on LTXV, so you can find that. I think I said huge in the title, because it is huge. I mean, literally 8 seconds to generate 2 seconds. There is nothing even close to that right now. So it is currently the 27th of November, 2024, and I'm sure that will change. But at the moment, that is currently the record holder on speed. So if you take a look at what I've done here, all I've done is opened up a chat with this module loaded and said, please adjust my, wait, let's go to the top. Please generate a single video prompt in which the camera is stationary and focused on a Viking warrior who is dancing in front of a stone wall, real life footage. And there it is. And that will match exactly with the cadence and structure of, and within the limits as well. It's actually quite short, to be fair. You can go up to like 300 tokens, I believe, with this one. And then for that, and that would be for the edit example, which you'll find on CivitAI in the V3. I think what I did was make like a compilation where I've labeled what's been done and I've gone through all of the results in one clip. So it makes it a bit easier to see what's going on. Next, what I did was I said, now exchange the subject of Viking warrior for a panda bear. And it's done exactly that. You can go ahead and, like I say, pause the screen if you want to read that. And then I've said, please adjust my Viking warrior to just a group of Viking warriors all dancing together at a feast. One warrior takes a turn in the middle of the circle to dance while they're all cheering him on. And again, boom, it's just given me the prompt, just like that, conversationally, with no real context or setup, because it's already been fine-tuned for this task, okay? So you can just converse with this like it's an expert, yeah? So yeah, again, pause the screen if you want to read that. And then finally, using the examples in the project knowledge, which are used for estimating new video prompts, please recreate this video prompt so that it uses as many similar features as those found in the examples.txt. It features as many dancing persons, and those persons are cops in a real life footage TV show. The reason I picked that is because I knew that it did really nice, like cop show footage. I know that that's one of the stronger aspects of the data depth in this video generation model, and so that's what I've asked for, and that's what it's given me. And if you go back to the prompt, you'll see that that is the prompt. Literally just copy paste, because it's better than me at coming up with prompts, because it understands, it lives in a universe of 16 example prompts. Now, you can actually improve this when you go over to the actual PromptGen. You'll notice that there is a file, and that file, which you already downloaded and put in here, right, is the LTXV video full examples. There's only 16 lines, all right? So if you were to collect a whole bunch of prompts, which are good, and then put them in this file, and then redeployed it, it will instantly be better at what it's already amazingly good at. And that is how I'm going to be building the Kling 1.5 prompt generator. At the moment, what I'm doing is I'm generating images using my existing sort of process in comfyui, and then I'm taking that prompt into Kling with the image on image to image, which is good, but I think we can do better. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be releasing another PromptGen very soon, and that one is going to be much like this one, but it will be a Kling 1.5 video PromptGen. The source will be up on Mushroom Fleet under LLM-based prompts, just like last time. It'll probably exist in its own folder, just like this one does. So if you go to github.com/mushroomfleet, you can find all of my source code. And do we have anything else? Yes, we've got one more thing. So just recently, we did a big video on the Flux tools, which was a new set of control nets from the authors of Flux. And a lot of people were asking me, how come you're not using Detailer Daemon with Flux? And I said, well, mainly because I've been rushing around in a great big circle, and we always come back around. If you can see my photo flux pack here, it has a significant number of workflows. So updating them all takes a long time, but I'm happy to announce the first one. And this one is the Detailer Daemon for ControlNet. Okay, now this isn't using Flux tools. And the main reason for that is because we've already got a nice pack out, which I think is here, Flux Tools. Okay, may as well just click on that real quick. So we have Canny, Depth, Redux, Dev, and we also have Redux Schnell workflows all set up here. Now, this is only like a week old, okay? Whereas this one is 3 months old. But yesterday, I put out this Cnet Daemon Lines V40, which is an update of the V30. And strictly speaking, it's a comparison workflow. So if I show you what I've done, what we've done is we've taken the existing workflow, the main part of it is here, okay? And what I've done is I've left the original in place. So what you can do is you can actually compare what it would have looked like with the old setup from 3 months ago. And I want to point out that this is not using dev. This is using Flux Schnell on FP8E4M3FN for both the clip and the model, right? So this is way more accessible. If you don't have a 4090, you can actually run this locally, okay? The biggest problem with dev is you might not be able to run it locally, and even if you could, it's going to take forever, okay? Because it's probably going to do a lot of stuff on your CPU without you knowing. Comfy's very clever at optimizing things if you don't have the right system to run, so you can get away with not having enough VRAM quite a bit of the time now, but the impact will be speed, and dev is very slow if you don't have the system specs to run it. And even on a 4090, sometimes that is the case. So that being said, what I've done is I've cloned, and we've obviously showed how to do this in my live streams, but we've cloned, and then we've got this one running the detailer daemon. Now, I recommend that you put your own image in here, change the prompt appropriately. You don't have to be too complicated. It's pretty easy. So I've got a photograph of a woman on a hospital bed, and then I have put the photograph, explained it very basically. You don't have to be a award-winning writer to get that, okay? And then what we've done is we've gone ahead and we've done the canny depth. Now, this is what you would have gotten before, and just to give you an idea of which one we're running, we are running these ones. These are unofficial. Okay, I did a video on it, like I said, so I'm not going to go over the details for too much. I think it's probably XLabs, but I'm not 100% because I can see some of the stylized models are here as well. The point is, it's running and we get this result, and you can kind of see that it's AI. It's quite obvious actually, because you can see like things aren't quite right. Things look a little bit like a drawing. And if you take a look at the detail daemon, it actually looks like much more realistic photography. It looks like it's compressed, sure, but it doesn't look as fake as before. It's not perfect. You know, if you zoom right in, it just ends up looking like a pixelated photo. But like I said, if I was to zoom in on the original one, it's very obviously AI. You can very obviously tell. So the detailer daemon actually does a shitload of work for us. And if you see just here, this is the basic change, right? So we've got beta 16 with DPMPP 2M, and then we've got this in between the samplers. Yeah. Okay, so the sigmas have changed and the samplers change. Other than that, it's the same. Also, I'm using it at 1.0 denoise, and you should probably, the author of Detail Daemon says use it at 0.8 denoise. Okay, so yeah, okay, we could probably do better. Wait, actually, hang on, let me just double check that. I'm using it at 1.15. He said use it at 0.8. Okay, so obviously I'm not exactly following, so it could be more improved. I always like to leave a little bit of room for improvement here. All right. But and this is just showing the top run just to confirm that the control nets are actually working. Now, I'm getting much better results from this than I am getting from Flux Tools at the moment. I'm sure that over time we'll find better settings for Flux Tools, but with the fact that most of you want to use Flux Schnell with FP8 because it's faster and it'll run on more GPUs, I thought it was worth updating a lot of these workflows for the detail daemon. So what you're going to see is you're going to see a whole bunch of new workflows coming up. They'll have the exact same name. They'll just have daemon, and they'll obviously be newer. So that is pretty much the main thing here. Let's see if we've got anything else to show you guys. So Ryan on the inside is the guy that did the Audio Reactive Pack. Thank you very much to you, sir. And we're going to be taking a look at some other stuff as well, because he's, like I said, he's got this audio reactive live portrait that looks really cool. So also we've got some other things coming up, which I don't want to go into just yet. So the main thing is the V3 for Xoda LTXV video pack is out. Thank you everybody for submitting your workflows over on the Discord. Like I said, everyone's getting really active over there again, which is kind of nice. I love it because I get to benefit from your research, and then I can put my spin on things and put that out with a nice detailed explainer. So there it is. That's everything I've got for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.